Right, hello folks, this is AMG or Adrian Master Gaming talking. So for those of you that don't know about the server, like VPS or dedicated, there's two different things. But if you can afford to buy your own server, it can work out cheaper over the long run, but it's whether or not you can afford it. So for me, as mentioned, that is my server. This unit here, that's just like a storage device. That's sometimes, this thing here is sometimes on. It takes a while to warm up, but that itself is the server. So it's a Dell server, and you can see it's there. Well, the PowerEdge T140. Now it loads. It's got a DVD-ROM plus USB. No monitors connected to it. There was for when it was set up for the operating system, but I use like the computer, and it's all for that, and it's all done via remote from that to that. Right. So the next bit, I'll show you the inside of the computer. Right. So to get inside of this one, the Dell. The lights are on, but not very good lights, but what'll do, pull the lever and that's it, it just comes off. It does get clean, I guess, a bit of dust, but it will get, this is due for a clean. So for me, see, that's your power supply in there, that's your DVD-ROM, just up there you've got the fan cooler where it cools the processor, and somewhere there, that's the RAM sticks too. Now with this model of Dell, of course, you can only use their RAM, and I only had the one stick when I bought it, so I bought a second one. It cost me £125, and bloody hell. Yeah, it's got the fan exhaust there. You've got used connectors which aren't used. Those lights are for wherever they are. Well, I'll just keep an eye on. Yeah, that looks okay. Battery. Now the weird thing that confuses some is this. So if you look, where do we go with this? Somewhere there. There's only one SATA connector there. So as I'm just trying to look at my phone, there's a slight delay. But when I'm moving my finger to the phone, so my brain's going, what's going on? So that's the actual SATA connector there. Now you think, so how do four of them connect? Well, it's the way the hardware is. Don't ask, I don't understand, but for me, you've got the main operating system SSD. You've got, which one is it? Another SSD somewhere in there for the websites. There's one that'll be running the 5M, and I've got a hard drive, which is the backup, which kicks in every so often. So it's all done the way it is, and that's all it is really. You don't need a graphics card. That's something for you to do. You don't, because it goes out on the internet. See, everything does there. See, that's my Ethernet. There's two Ethernet, but I'm using Ethernet 1. See? And then up there, that's the router. It's the 1 gig Virgin Media. So I've got a good internet supply. Mainly the output bit uploads. So it uploads all that data for at least 100 megabytes. So pretty fast. Too slow, and the data, say you get about 100 people join your server, if you only got 14 megabyte upload, it'll be a bit, it could struggle a tiny bit, so you have to watch that. So that's the computer there for anyone that's curious. That cost me a good, to build that, a good £5,500. That's the seat with covers put on. It's an expensive one, 300 quid, but yeah, there's a cover on there because a certain thing, where is she? There's a certain thing behind there, I call it. Certain thing, that thing there, see it? Oh. Yeah, we touch you, look, look, where are we? Moggy, yeah, my little Daisy, yeah. See, she's very friendly, because she trusts me, that's why she's there, yeah. Oh, tired. You spend more time sleeping, you know, wait, let's catch do 17 hours. Yeah, so that's the basics of it. Everything else, well, I use speakers from the computer, the keyboard, one of them. that's my dad's, not mine. I'm just trying to restore it for him. See, so I know all the stuff about tech. So remember, learning to use a server, it took me a long time. As mentioned, you can see more about it on the website. The previous servers I owned, it was an absolute nightmare. No, when you get my age, it gets a bit. Watch it for standing up and crouching. What's that light? That's just telling me what's going on with the server. It is due for a bit of a 𝗪𝗲𝗀𝗀𝗀. What's that? Not rust. No, yuck. But yeah, it is due for a bit of a clean inside. Now you don't use water, no chemicals. I use the 𝗪𝗲 with the brush bit for that. And you certainly don't spray anything in there. Like some people would polish. No, don't spray anything in there, because if it hits the components, it could damage them. I think I've had this now 4 years, running to 5 years. It's still running nicely. But thing with it though, it's not hot. What do you call, like a proper server, hot plugs or whatever you call them. So you can't just go pull things out, because if you do, it'll crash the server. It has to be powered down. Sometimes I do power it. It is powered down, or I do reboot it now and again for updates to the Windows operating. So it runs Windows 19. Those are cool. So that's what I run. That thing that runs Windows 11. You can see that there with the monitor. Bigger ultra wide. You can see there the 5M server running, which that's on the computer, not on me server. But I'll show more about that in a bit for what I do. So I thought I'd talk about this because I could see people are confused. So let me explain. So a dedicated server is just like one of the, I suppose you could call it dedicated. It's physical, isn't it? The physical server. But if it's a hosted company, they'll have tower servers. You know what I mean, with things on the rack. And if you look it up, just look up the tower servers. You'll see the flat type big. The great big things. They're twice the size of this. If you lay this down flat, that's only half the size of the actual unit. And the hot wired thing where they can pull out a hard drive. Now they'll have half a dozen hard drives in for storage. They'll have I don't know how much RAM, but 15 sticks of it, a lot. So they can, some are redundant, some they can just pull out, another one takes over. Same with the hard drives or SSDs probably using now. They'll pull those out because they're hot wired, you know, they can take that, replace them so when they fail. Same with the power supplies, there will be two. So if one fails, the other one takes over, they pull out the faulty one, replace that with a new one. This you can't. It's same with the processors. I think they have 3 or 4 in, don't they? So if one fails, I don't know if all 4 run, but one might fail. To take out the faulty one, put in a new one, that kicks in. So it's how it is. You know, unless the main motherboards fail, then well, it's shut down completely. Then there will be for the server, which will have to have updates now and again for wherever. Oh no, the operating system is different. Some hosting companies might supply the operating system like Windows 2019 or 2020 and all that, but you may need the activation key. Some don't provide the Windows operating system. You have to get that yourself, and again you'll need the operating key. Like you might need Linux. If you know how to use that, you use that. It's open source, it's free. I don't, because it's an absolute headache use with sudo this, sudo that, you know, commands here, there, everywhere. So I'm going to put the side back on. You shouldn't run any computer or anything with the side panel left off, because it isn't cooling properly. So I can feel now it's getting a bit warm in there because the fan isn't blowing the air properly. It's just, you know, same with that. I've seen people use the computer, they haven't got the side panel on. You know, it's not good because the air can't, you know, vacuum properly. See why the side panels on all that, it's doing its job. When I'm gaming, there's a door at the front, you can see that has to be open for now with more air going. But that's due for a bit of a hoovering inside as well. No, so it'll have to be done soon. So I hope you've enjoyed this bit of the video, and if you have, thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and click like, as it helps the algorithm shift my video about. And I'll see you all soon in the next one.